What's up, guys? I just got off of work and used my knife a couple times today. Happen to be carrying the Microtech Select Fire. Still beat up. Still working like a charm. Still not sharpened since I got it. Beautiful. But anyway, purpose of the video is I want to talk a little bit about deployment. Let me move my shirt out of the way. Tuck that in a little bit. Alright. So, what I was thinking about are all the different ways that we deploy our knives or present our knives. And, I do it differently depending on the situation. Sometimes if there's a bunch of people in or something, I'll dip in, just pull it out calmly, and just slowly open it. Not a big deal. This particularly happens when I'm in the store. Okay, if I'm in the middle of Walmart or if I'm in the middle of JCPenney's or who knows what kind of store, and there's a bunch of people around who may be not so knife friendly, I'll just take the knife out, quickly open it, and then just cut what I have to cut and put it away. It's not a big deal. I don't want to make a big spectacle of myself, okay? Because if I take it out and I whip it out, make a lot of noise, make any fast movements, it could really freak people out. A lot of you guys out there who carry knives, you may have had experiences like that. You may not have the cops called on you or something, but you get weird looks and it just makes you feel uncomfortable. So generally speaking, for sheeple-friendly areas, nice and slow. That's all I gotta do. However, if I have to get it out fast, I want to cut something, or generally speaking, I don't need to get out fast. I like to get out fast. It's fun. We all like doing that. There's a bunch of different things that I do, but there's two major ways that I present a knife, a folding knife, usually. Now, it depends on the tension on the pivot, okay, because both of these methods, you can use a thumb stud or a flipper or something and actually, flip it out. But in the case of this, I need a loose pivot so I can actually get the blade out with basically blunt force. Okay, it's a stop and go motion that's going to throw that blade out. Now, if you have a really heavy detent in your knife, by the way, I see my crap in the tip of my knife. If you have a heavy detent in your knife, it's not going to work. You need a knife where you can shake your blade out. Okay, so the abrupt motions like that will actually pop past your detent, and then gravity will swing that blade open and locked. Two ways to do this, depending on what grip I want. For a reverse grip, what I'll do is I'll dip down in backwards, okay? So if I need my knife, I dip down in like this with two fingers in the pocket, and it's hard to see, but the thumb's behind the knife. Okay, I'm giving you a first-person perspective, so if you're trying this at home or something, it's easy to understand as opposed to looking the other way. But basically, take your two fingers. This is how I'm grabbing the knife. But I'm dipping the fingers in behind the knife, okay? Thumb grips like that where the pocket clip is, and as I pull it out, I'm twisting. So now we're in a reverse grip. From here, basically just flicking it out like that. That's it. Now, you can go right into the reverse grip like that, or if you deployed it in reverse grip, you can just simply reverse it back if you need a standard grip. Alright, so in a faster pace motion, but still so you can see it, like that, twist as I pull out, knock it open. Okay, that's easy for a reverse grip, right? Now this could be done generally fast. Alright, so for a standard grip, it's actually really simple. What I'm doing is I'm deploying the knife. Okay, I'm not touching the blade. Again, if you were to use a thumb stud or a flipper, you can easily flick it out, but we're not touching the blade in this case. This is really fast. You don't have to acquire the blade. In the case of a thumb stud, once you grip it, you have to find that. And then in this particular case, even though it's a very large thumb stud, it's hard to get a good grip on it. You need to get the meat of your finger on there just like that. If I were to go over top like this, it doesn't quite catch it. If I go behind it, sometimes I slip off. So you have to catch it just right. So with this particular knife, in the case where either you have a small flipper or an awkward thumb stud, what's even faster is by not actually touching the blade at all, you're flicking down. Alright? You've probably seen this done before. A bunch of different YouTubers have shown this before. Basically, when you take the knife out, you're throwing the knife down like that. Okay? Obviously, don't throw it on the ground. Hold your handle. But what I mean by that is if you flick down, the blade is going to want to open, but it's also going to want to swing up because it pivots around, guess what, your pivot. Here's what it looks like. You take it out of the pocket and you flick down. It's really simple. Alright, you can do this fairly quickly. It'll usually flick all the way open and in the open position. So let me give you kind of a slower view of this if I can. Pulling it out. I'm only holding the handle. I'm not touching the blade. And I'm going down. Here's a side view of it. Just flicking down. Alright. So flick down. As you flick down, the blade wants to open, but because you're still moving downwards, when your hand naturally just kind of goes back up just a little, it pivots around and locks. Alright, so just like that. Now, of course, the easiest way to do this is physically down. But you can do it to the side if you really wanted to. It takes a little bit more finesse, but once you pull it out, you can flick it to the side. But as opposed to what we're normally used to doing is flicking it out. Alright, so from a stop position, we want to go like this and flick out. But it's actually easier to go inward, towards the blade. So if you've never done that before, give it a try. Okay, instead of flicking out, flick down, or flick to the side. But the point is, we naturally want to go like that to get the blade out. But instead of going like that, away from the blade, go towards the blade. It's pretty cool and very efficient. Like I said, just right from the pocket, and it's open. Do whatever cutting task I have. And of course, as far as grip change, this could be a whole different video, but it's really easy to go from somewhat of a natural grip to a reverse grip. There's two ways I'll do it. The one way is I'll take my pointer finger and thumb, kind of like some different battle song moves, and I'll put my 3 fingers behind the handle. Okay, then all you're doing is just pivoting it around and re-gripping. Okay, that's an easy way to get into reverse grip. The other way would be like kind of a swing motion, and that's where I'll choke down on the knife naturally, like when I open it. So let's say I have the knife, I open it, I'll just kind of choke down and swing it around. It's more fluent to do it that way. Not much room for error. If you're going in reverse grip from a standard grip like this, sometimes you have a looser grip here, so you can drop your knife, but either way you can change your grips fairly easily. Alright, so once again, if I'm in a sheeple zone, basically deploying the knife nice and quiet, don't want to make a lot of noise, don't want to make a lot of movements, cut whatever I have to cut, put the knife away, no one's the wiser, right? If I want to get to it quickly in a reverse grip, dip down, okay, behind the knife, come out, flick it open. If I want to get into a standard grip, in a fairly quick motion, deploy a knife, flick down. So there's some different options, something to think about. If you've never tried any of these, ways to take your knife out, then by all means, check it out. Make some video responses if you want. Eventually, I will fix this knife up. I know what the problem is. The lock bar itself, you can hear obviously there's play in it because there's separate screws that attach it inside the handle. Now once I can remove the handle from this knife, I can adjust those screws, Loctite them, and I will eliminate the blade play in this knife. So it definitely has life left in it, and I'll probably have this for a very long time. Like I said, I love having a really high-end quality knife that I can beat up on a little bit and not worry as much or cringe if I get a scratch in it. So anyway, I just want to do a video, show you a couple different ways that I deploy my knives, just in case you're interested, and give you some ideas. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time as always. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.